Some tech to the rescue for remote meetings. Welcome back to another Techstination interview. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us from Owl Labs, our co-founder Max Makeev and Frank Weishaupt, the CEO. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Fred, pleasure to be here with you today.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, first of all, I don't know which one of you wants to take this to get started, but give us some background about Owl Labs.
Sure. So I'll start. Even though Max founded the company, I'll start and I'll let you chime in with anything that you feel I may have missed.
I'll do the fact checking.
Perfect. So Owl Labs is a hardware company that makes hardware that is makes for a phenomenally inclusive meeting for remote participants. Our flagship product is called the Meeting Owl Pro. The Meeting Owl Pro is an all-in-one camera, speaker, microphone that sits at the center of the table. It has a 360-degree fisheye lens. And I think about it this way, Fred. The Meeting Owl Pro acts like the director of the meeting. So if you're a remote participant and you're using Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Google and you're on a video conference, if you're remote and there are 5 people in the room, what the Meeting Owl does is the Meeting Owl uses audio and visual cues to determine who is speaking, and it focuses on that person. So now there's not that many of us in this meeting room right now, so you can see Max and I pretty clearly. But if there were a third or fourth person in the room and they started to speak and they were in a different part of the room, the Meeting Owl would either shift the focus to them entirely, or would split the screen as many as 3 times so that you could really feel that physical engagement by being able to see the full person as they were communicating with you. So, the Meeting Owl is a product that is, we launched the initial Meeting Owl in 2017 after the company was founded in 2014. And it is a product that has really helped keep hybrid teams together during the pandemic. And as we go to a world where the majority of the world comes back online at work in a hybrid manner, the Meeting Owl is a great bridge to help your remote participants still feel like they're a big part of the meeting.
And Max, you saw an opening in the marketplace for a product like this long before than the pandemic.
Yeah, that's correct. So my co-founder and I have a background in robotics, and so all of the aspects that Frank described in the product really are rooted in 2 things. One is looking at the problem of video conferencing, inclusive video conferencing for hybrid teams through a robotics lens, and 2 is creating a product that is easy to use and easy to understand. And so back in 2014, when we looked at the market, what we saw was that there were a lot of front of the room solutions that would cut people out of the field of view of the camera, creating weird experiences that did not feel inclusive, worthy of distributed team members. And we felt like we could do something about it by designing something unique and custom for that to solve the problem.
And this has a fisheye lens, but there's no distortion here. So what are you doing?
This is a great question. So this is exactly where we spend a lot of engineering. This is a custom designed camera. This isn't something you can just buy off the shelf and integrate. We spent a lot of time in the optics domain, making sure that we minimize distortion and maximize resolution for high quality hybrid experience. So the camera is actually designed for the meeting space.
And how difficult was it for Owl Labs to find a CEO with Y's in his name?
Yeah. Oh, what a great question.
It's a really good point. It's a really good point. It took them months and months, is the way I would describe it. One thing, Fred, before we move on, I just wanted to throw in the founder story here because I think it's a really interesting one. It just shows you how, small things that happen every day can turn into great products and eventually great businesses. So Max's other co-founder is Mark Schnittman, who, as Max said, is also a roboticist. And he was managing a remote team, and he was having a hard time participating in those via video. And then one day, one of his coworkers put the laptop with the laptop camera on a swivel stool and started turning it around to see the individual speaker. And that is how the concept was born.
Terrific. And now you have something that you're calling the Whiteboard Owl camera. And I see a whiteboard behind you. So tell me about this.
Sure. So we'll do a demonstration for you in a second, because who doesn't love a live demonstration a week after a product is launched? But one thing that we didn't touch on is that the Meeting Owl Pro is a Wi-Fi connected device. So it is Wi-Fi connected, and it gets smarter over time, right? So we have the ability to do over-the-air updates on the Meeting Owl, so that as new features and functionality become available, if you are an owner and you are connected to Wi-Fi, you will get the newest software so that you can grow along with the software that the Owl has. And part of that too is we have come out with the Whiteboard Owl, because the whiteboard is a big missing piece for the remote participant. So when you think about the world that we live in, where everybody's scattered and on Zoom or on Microsoft Teams, we're all in our individual boxes and we're on equal playing ground. Now you're going to go to a world where there are people in the room and then there are some people at home. So not only being able to see my expression and understand my body language and see all the elements of the room, because you can see the panoramic strip of the full room up top, but being able to participate with those physical elements. So while the Meeting Owl is a wonderful product, it's not meant to focus in and really kind of get laser focused on the whiteboard. So that Wi-Fi connectivity allows us to pair it with this Meeting Owl that is easy to install, either with a command strip or a screw, and it goes opposite the whiteboard, where a lot of the other products on the market actually have to be put right over the whiteboard. So it gives us an easy to install and much wider view of the whiteboard. And you'll see in a moment that what it does is it creates a much better experience for that remote participant, because they are able to see all the details on that whiteboard and participate as though they were in the room.
Are there restrictions as to the dimensions of the room that this can work with? I assume there must be.
Yeah, there are. So minimum size room is 7 feet. The Whiteboard Owl should be mounted 7 feet from the whiteboard at minimum, and as far out as 16 feet. And then with a 1/4 on the back of the product, we actually provided a whole lot of flexibility for options for mounting for things like tripod mounting or ceiling mounting with ceiling panel mounts. So lots and lots of ways to configure the product that is optimal for your room.
So it doesn't necessarily have to go on a wall opposite the whiteboard. You can
That's
have it
right.
on a little tripod or something.
Yeah, you can't see it here, but on the other side here, you can see it up in that 360-degree view, hopefully. We actually have this one mounted on a tripod. So it's not directly above or below the TV. It doesn't have to be directly across from the whiteboard. You can see those two magnetic tags up there so that the whiteboard is framed. So, the Whiteboard Owl is on a tripod approximately 3 feet from the TV right now to the right.
So then what can it do?
Well, let's do it. All right. So what's going to happen is, and you're going to see that I'll continue to be a part of the conversation, because that's the beauty of the Meeting Owl Pro that we have here. But I'm going to come over here to the whiteboard and I'm going to flip this tag, and you're going to see a completely different view. So now you can see that the whiteboard is the full, what we call the stage, which is the area below the panoramic strip. And then you can actually see that I am transparent so that you can see all the action on the whiteboard and everything that's being done, even if I'm in front of the whiteboard writing on it, so that you're not being blocked. You're also going to see down below that there is a URL with a passphrase. So a lot of times what can happen is that either your bandwidth or your video conferencing provider may be restricting the ability for data to come through on the video conference. Down at that, if you go to that URL and you put in that passphrase through the Save and Share portal that we have with this product, it will actually render a high definition image that will be updated every 30 seconds as the content is developed. But let's start by just giving you a sense of what this looks like from your perspective as a remote participant. And I'll give you a big welcome to Owl Labs. And I'll make the last one with a little smaller font so you can see that it's clear no matter what size I write. And then the other thing I'll do is I'll fill in here with some color so that you can see the fine level of detail that we're able to provide with this product.
And it's taking a little while for the letters themselves to fill in, become darker as we go. Describe what's taking place here.
Yeah, so right now the software inside of the Whiteboard Owl is analyzing the entire frame and looking for written text, new written text. And so as it's doing that, it's identifying where Frank has created content and is going back and filling that content in, creating higher contrast with saturating the colors of the markers and kind of pushing the white whiteboard into the background. And so we are constantly evolving our algorithms, and this room is actually one of our test rooms. So part of what you're also seeing is some experimentation that our software engineers are kind of gracing us with in this demo.
Of course.
But if you do go to that URL down below, share.owllabs.com, as Frank mentioned, whenever you have a bad internet connection to the call, that's not a good enough reason for not being able to see the content in the room. So if you go to that landing page, you'll start to see the stream come through in pretty high fidelity. You can zoom in, you can pan, you can download, save, and share. A lot of functionalities offered in that URL.
And there's nothing special about the whiteboard itself, right?
Nope, this is just a standard whiteboard that, we happen to like it, but there is nothing special about it.
Tell me how you accomplish the transparency, because for people who are listening, they're not seeing what I'm seeing, but you're transparent, and which is companies promise transparency all the time, but you're accomplishing it here.
Yeah, so it's really, we have really smart robotics software engineer of the company, really sharp computer vision engineers of the company, and so there are timing. You can imagine there are things in this scene that you're watching currently that are changing fast, and some things that are changing slow. And because these things happen at different rates, we can combine them in a way that creates this illusion of transparency. It's real, but it's also an illusion because we are combining something old with something new to create this full context view of the room.
That's right. It is a hard problem to solve. And I know that we're talking about something that your listeners can't see, so they can go to our website directly at owllabs.com, and there is a video there.
Or they can watch the video of this interview as well. So we have,
I didn't realize that.
We publish both video and audio, so that if you're listening to this, we encourage you to check out the video online as well. So tell us about pricing and availability for the system, because I guess you need a few pieces together and a subscription as well, right? Because of the share.owllabs.com.
That is right. So you do have to have a Meeting Owl Pro first and foremost. The Whiteboard Owl is available for sale in the United States. It retails for $599, and there is a $10 a month subscription fee that comes along with it for the custom software and the Save and Share portal.
Okay, and the camera that you need, the large camera for the room.
The Meeting Owl Pro, retails for $999 and is available widely across channels like our website, through Amazon, and through various other channels.
So tell me about the primary customers, the market for this. Obviously, a lot of places use whiteboards. So tell me what you see in terms of the market.
First, I'm going to flip the tag back and show you how easy it is to get back out of whiteboard mode into a regular mode, because I think there's only so long where I should be standing on a video where I'm a ghost. But yeah, listen, I think, a lot of what we saw, as the pandemic unfolded was, a big market that had a lot of needs, where there are 90 million conference rooms in the world. Less than 10% of them are wired for video. And that's just the ability for us to see each other and communicate clearly, right? with, roughly 98% of your meetings requiring at least, that are going to have at least one person remote in perpetuity, as most people are going to go to a hybrid schedule. We need to bring all of the other elements of the room into play so that everyone can be included in the meeting. And I think this is a really hard problem that companies haven't yet thought about how to solve for. They're still trying to, work the kinks out of their productivity elements. But the room, once you go back into an environment where you're remote and there's 5, 6, 7, maybe 20 people in a room, the question is whether or not there's that same level of equality between that remote person being able to participate and the people in the room. So what we saw was the whiteboard is a big part of most meeting rooms, and therefore we knew we needed to solve for that first. So that's what we spent a lot of our time on, and that's why we were able to launch this product this month.
And are you looking, I assume you are, education, those markets as well, I assume?
Education is a big market for us. During the pandemic, education and a lot of the critical businesses where people were required to be in person, whether it be healthcare or whether it be legal, those were the verticals that we solved for first, and those were the customers that we onboarded to really kind of work through the requirements for this product.
So for more information, where's the best place for people to go?
Best place to go is to owllabs.com.
Max Makeev and Frank Weishaupt, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you, Fred.
Now this. It takes a lot of listening to build a better radio, and that's just what the folks at C. Crane have done. Bob Crane and his crew, nestled among the rivers and tallest trees in the world in Fortuna, California, have made a habit of listening to their customers. And that's just what they've done in building the CC Skywave SSB, the Swiss Army knife of portable radios. For everyday listening to AM or FM in the yard or patio or on the nightstand, without having to drain a mobile phone battery, it's a great companion. But it is also a companion equipped for NOAA weather information and alerts that can be life-saving. You can listen to FEMA and Coast Guard transmissions too. Beyond all of that, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world. It's compact, easy to take with you, and built to last. The CC Skywave SSB. Click on the link at Techstination.com.